Hey, what's up, guys? So I had like the week of weeks as far as bad weeks go. I mean, it could be worse, but as far as me, it's probably one of the worst weeks I've ever had. My 259 went out on rent last Saturday, I believe. Maybe Friday, I don't remember. Anyhow, the homeowner that rented it had a fencing contractor using it, and they popped the tracks off, didn't realize it. And then the auger bit that they were using, I told them specifically, if the teeth start to wear out, they will fall off. Call me and I'll come put new teeth on it so you don't wear the actual auger bit itself out. Well, they disregarded that message and wore out the outer edge of the auger bit. So that sucked. Minor. The tube on the 70, that got a flat in it. But my daughter learned how to ride her 50 without training wheels this week, or last week, so that was good. But, so we got the issues with the 259, and then the 272 back here is having fuel pressure issues. So I got to figure that out. And then on top of that, the fire that came through, you know, that kind of put my work at a standstill. Luckily, my brother was here to do some trucking still. So Muddy Waters kept on rolling, but for the most part, it kind of shut down. And then I decided to start working again on Thursday. So I did some trucking Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday I went back to my grading job that I have. And as we were starting to push dirt around with the dozer and the 299 and all that stuff, my water pump on my water buffalo exploded and spewed water everywhere and pretty much emptied the tank. And it just was bad. It was a bad week. But, you know, we just kept our heads down. We kept pushing through. And because of that, I met some new people. I got to know my new neighbors that moved in. And they seem to be really cool people. You know, I'm helping him out a little bit with some equipment, putting a fence line in where his fence burnt down. And so, you know, it ended up being a good week overall, even though like a million bad things happened. So, it could always be worse, but I'm going to show you guys what happened this week, and, you know, if you guys enjoy laughing at my misery. But here it is. Okay, so first of all, I put this out on rent last Friday, just right before the fire started. As you can see, the track is not where it's supposed to be. This is like the story of my life with rentals. I don't know how people do it. I have never successfully popped a track off. I've tried to do it, but somehow other people just have a skill for it. So we're going to have to pop this cap off, relieve the pressure off the tensioner, put it back on. You know, it's a whole little process, but that's okay. I've kind of got it down to a science now. So they went just a little bit too far and didn't listen to me. So now I have to rebuild this whole section right here so we can have the right teeth on it still. Very minor, but the 70 needs a new tube. Sad day. Good thing my daughter learned how to ride her 50 last week without training wheels. So the fire came up through here. The oak trees didn't really burn too much. Just all the stuff on the ground. But this is the street that I had parked my trucks on. Because originally the fire wasn't headed this way. It was headed that way. So a lot of this burned down super fast. Because it's so dry out here. We're headed out the dirt road to my place now. It was just unbelievable how fast the fire came through here. So I'm so grateful the fire did not jump from this side of the road to that side of the road, because that would have been bad news. But it doesn't look very smoky anymore, which is good. Seems like they got most of the hot spots. Alright guys, well I'm coming back in the valley. We got all the fire trucks filling up at my place. busy, hot day in front of me, but we're gonna keep this valley safe, everyone. Hey, what's up guys? So today's episode is going to be like ice road truckers, but hillside graders. And we got all sorts of stuff going wrong today. I was in the 299 over here, just tracking down the road. And as I look over, my little pump right here is just spewing out water. The housing cracked. So I had to run down the street and buy another $700 pump, trying to get it back up and running so Mike down there can keep going. So I'll show you guys the pump that we bought real quick. So we bought a red line. It's got a Honda motor, a 120. Looks about identical to the Harbor Freight one, except it was twice the price. So hopefully the housing on this one doesn't crack and it works good for us. So I'm having to run down to my friend's house right now because I'm ill prepared and I do not have a big pipe wrench and I need one of my adapters from the old pump to go onto the new pump. I really got to get this up and going because we are stopped right now because I don't have any water. Bad day. So apparently Mike's way stronger than I am and he used his hands to get it off. Even though I ran down the hill to get a nice set of pliers.
You call me Big Sexy for nothing.
That's right. Let's get this going. Alright, Big Sexy. Oh, I guess we gotta put gas in this thing still. Might need that, huh? It didn't even come with oil.
Got something to tie this to that so it doesn't vibrate up. Sure.
I got this towel with maggots on it. Alright. Do you think it'll start first pull?
No.
No?
It hasn't never had gas in it.
Alright, film me. Let's see if we can get first pull. On. Choke. Fuel. Okay. You want to bet $1 on this one?
Okay.
Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna go 3/4 throttle. Sideways so I get a good pull. Alright, Honda, don't let me down. Boom! First pull! Give me $1. Alright, so we're back at it, guys. Today's been, seriously, it's just been like an episode of a reality show. Everything that has gone wrong could. It just has been a bad day. But they happen. So right now, I got the skeleton bucket on the 299. And in one of my other videos, I had said that we had found a use for the skeleton bucket. Because I originally bought it to screen dirt. And that is a no bueno idea. Don't do that. So what we use it for is, I'll show you guys right now. So like right here, you guys can see that there's a bunch of rocks in that dirt. So I'll just come in like so. Kind of lift up as I come along. Just shake it a couple times. And get all the big rocks out. Because nobody likes a hill full of rocks. Anyhow, that's what we'd use the skeleton bucket for. It's not for screening dirt. It's just picking rocks out of dirt and setting them aside. Alright, well here's another bad thing that happened. In the midst of all the power going off and on, our old school, I mean this is old school, magnetic relay switch took a dump on us. So look at what replaced it. It's amazing how much smaller it is. Alright, you guys see that little black box right there? That's what replaced this. I mean, this thing's like 50, 60 years old, because this is an old well, but it still works good, and that's our new switch, and we are up and running. I can hear it. Alright, so even though last week was like super crappy as far as bad stuff happening, because it was every day that something was happening. You know, it's just out of my control. I couldn't do anything to change that. I actually really enjoyed last week. I know it might sound funny with the fire and all that stuff, but you know, I got to meet some new people. I had a neighbor move in just across the street. And this poor guy, man, he came in 3 weeks ago, and I just met him once in crossing, you know, on the road. I said, "Hey, my name's James." And I think I warned him that we had a mountain lion in the valley. And that was about it. We had some tracks on my property that were pretty fresh, and I just was letting him know that they were around and to be careful. So anyhow, when the fire first broke out, I ran over to my neighbor Earl's house first. I jumped on the Zuma, went and let him and his wife know about it. And then I ran over to Ryan's place. And their front gate is so slow. I think it's on his list of things to fix. But so I basically just parked the Zuma at the front gate and I ran to his house. And out here, the lots are kind of big and it's a far run. So by the time I got there, I was like, "Hey guys, there's a fire." Because I'm getting old and fat. And so after I told him, you know, I ran back to my place on the Zuma and started getting things ready. I had to hurry and get my Peterbilts out of here because if I lose those, I don't have any way to make money. And my family's going to go hungry. So my wife and kids got out of here. They took the dogs. And so anyhow, long story short, I ended up getting to know Ryan. He has a YouTube channel called D-Max Rhino. And I had seen some videos in the past that my cousin had sent me of him like doing a trip up to Alpine. I was like, oh, that was my old stomping grounds. So it's been kind of cool to get to know him. I let him use one of my water buffaloes, put out all the hot spots on his property, and then over the weekend, he had rented a mini excavator that kind of really sucked as far as the auger goes. And so they just don't have the flows these skid steers do. And so we went over and I helped Joel Holes get his fence rebuilt. And you know, I've just enjoyed being around him. He's a good neighbor to have. So he brought us some good barbecue from Fern's semi-famous barbecue. And you know, I've just enjoyed being his neighbor. So that was kind of a big deal, getting to know a new neighbor. That was really cool. And then what else happened? Trucking's been really picking up, you know. And yeah, and so it was a good week. So anyways, you know, bad stuff happens, but you can still have good weeks. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you can do me a solid, like, subscribe, share with your amigos. We will see you guys next time.